Welcome back, everybody. Today we have a viewer requested video. I am super excited. Do we tell our children with ADHD that they have it or not? And this is not just something that viewers request. This is something that my coaching clients deal with regularly. My name is Danielle Kelly and I am a positive parent coach. However, I am also an ADHD parent with you guys on this journey. About 6 years ago, I became a rather stressed out ADHD parent, so much so that I joined my first positive parent training, which literally altered my life. No joke, I'm not saying that just to be dramatic. So much so that I followed it up with mindful parent training, conscious parent coaching, and behavioral parent therapy. I transformed my relationship with my child and the way I parent. And on this channel, I share all of those strategies, techniques, tips, secrets, and tricks with you. Let's get into today's topic. Do we tell our children with ADHD that they have it or not? Stick around to the end. I have a bonus tip for you if you decide to go one way or the other. It's not an easy decision. It's actually a pretty big decision, something that should not be taken lightly. It should be well thought out, planned, possibly rehearsed, and discussed with all family members involved. There are some cons. Those can look like stigmas and labels. We don't want our child to be labeled the wild child, the hyperactive child, the child who can't stay in their seat, or the child who can't focus, the child who can't pay attention through lessons, all of those. We don't want to put the label of ADHD on our children's back, and I totally get that. We also don't want them to over-identify with the diagnosis. I actually never thought about this before because I am probably not there yet in my journey, or either my child just hasn't figured it out yet. But I had a coaching client tell me that her daughter, when she found out she had ADHD, used ADHD as a crutch and as an excuse for everything, for all of her bad choices. Yeah, so that's a possibility. The last con is confusion and anxiety. Confusion of, I have what? What is ADHD? What does this mean now? What's going on? Anxiety. I have what? What does this mean? What do I do now? What is that? What does ADHD even mean? All of those are very real possibilities. However, I believe with some positive reframing, you can handle all of those cons and much, much more. Let's get into the pros, which there are many in my eyes. I believe that we are building acceptance and understanding. A cute little story that's probably not so cute, but only because it's my child. My child has an arch nemesis at school. The kid came in midway through the year. Day one, he told my kid he was straight up poop. Yes, second grade life is pretty entertaining. So I asked my kid, we labeled it fast brain many years ago. Could this child have fast brain and him saying that just be a fast brain decision? Maybe. He was able to accept that. They are still not friends, just to give you an update. But we are building acceptance and understanding. We are understanding that we are going to make mistakes, that there are other people that are going to make mistakes, and the ADHD, that's not so bad, right? Along with that is resilience. I'm not sure if this exactly fits in resilience, but it's something I want to share. For those children that'll feel down on themselves for thinking that, oh my God, I have ADHD, great. There are going to be some things that we are not so great at, but there are going to be other things that we are completely phenomenal in, that we get hyper-focused on and we take this to the max. For an example, for my child, I used Michael Jordan. My son wants to be a basketball player. I looked up, are there any basketball players with ADHD? Turns out there are quite a few. However, There's one of the greatest of all time who has ADHD. And guess what? He used ADHD to become one of the greatest basketball players of all time, right? Yes, you can reframe it. You can make it something fantastic. There are many, I won't say there are many billionaires, but there are many of those billionaires that have ADHD. Hyperfocus. Resilience. Last up is empowerment. I want to frame it for you this way. Your child is eventually going to realize and see, I am different. If I don't know why, and I don't know how to fix it, and I'm just being dragged along through life by this unknown force, that is very disempowering. But if I know what it is, how I can help with that, and how it will affect me, that is super empowering. Super empowering. There is actually a workbook that I recommend. I will put it in the description. It will you go over a checklist of symptoms. I framed it something like, Mom, when I was little, I had trouble staying in my square and on the carpet. Do you ever have that? Turns out my kid had like 95 of them, 95% of them. So that's my bonus tip. How do you tell your child that they have ADHD if that's the choice you make? It is a targeted, calculated decision. We are going to choose the right place and the right time. We are not going to do it in the middle of a confrontation, after an incident or a mistake, not when both of us are charged energies, not when anybody's charged energies. We are going to choose a time when everyone is calm, maybe go for a walk and say, actually, I'll tell you exactly how I said it. When my son was younger, you know how your brain makes really quick decisions and then you're always like, oh, shouldn't have done that. That's called fast brain. That's what we called it way back when. We're actually transitioning now to ADHD, the technical term. But when he was small, we would say, this is fast brain. Mom has fast brain, Dad has fast brain, Uncle has fast brain, Grandpa and Grandma have fast brain. There are many people in our family who have fast brain. You are not alone. It has not affected us. We're all fine. It's just something that you need to know. At first, it looks something like, oh, Mama made a fast brain decision. Great. I'm glad that you noticed it. If you could do it differently next time, what would you do? Flex that muscle. Build that up. To eventually, now it looks something like, oh, Mom, I almost made a fast brain decision, but I didn't. Right place, right time, right language. We're going to say it in terminology that they understand, and we are going to frame it in a positive light, okay? You can call it fast brain. There's actually a book by Dave Pilkey called Dog Man. It has a character in the book called ADHD. He is a robot. Go figure. You can use that as your intro. There's actually a couple of books. My Whirly Twirly Brain, I believe. I'll drop that in the description as well. There is a ton of ways you could tell your child that they have ADHD in a positive way. You could find something that they're really into and find someone who does it or did it that has ADHD, such as the Michael Jordan reference. Right place, right time, right language, positive language. And then you want to open them up and let them know that they can ask all the questions that they want, and we will answer everything. We're going to foster open, honest, positive communication. Do you have any questions? Would you like to know anything about Mom's life? Would you like to go to the library and check out some books that might help us? There is a ton of resources out there. Don't forget the workbook. Remember, ADHD diagnosis is the first step in getting the help that you and your child needs. It is not the end of the world. It is actually just the beginning. I promise. If you have any tips for me, like I said, my coaching clients tell me things all the time that I did not know. So if you have any tips for me, drop them in the comments. If you found this video helpful, like and subscribe. Share it with one of your ADHD fellow parents. Meet me back here. Again, I'm sharing all of my tips and secrets. If you have any requested videos that you would like, let me know in the comments and I will definitely put those out. Good luck on the journey, guys.